Welcome to this new mod map tour on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. I am on the new mod map Campaign of France by Blacksheep Modding. This is Chambly-sur-Meuse, Chambly on the Meuse River. The Meuse River, I couldn't find Chambly. I found a place called Chambly, but it was on the Meuse. The Meuse River runs from France through Belgium, through Holland, and out into the North Sea. So it does actually exist. This is a very small map. What I'm finding interesting, the more map tours I do, how certain modders and mod groups have a certain style. This is Blacksheep Modding. This feels very much like the Old Stream Farm. There's a lot of design cues and things from the Valley of the Old Farm. They've got a certain style. Oxygen David's maps, you can tell the buildings and structures and design cues from there. Alien Gym is the same. You get a feel for the design and style that these modders go for. So this is a Blacksheep Modding map. It's very small. It's very picturesque. It's lovely. As far as I'm aware, it's seasons ready. I was just trying to think what it said in the Modhub. I think it's seasons ready. But there's some nice stuff on here. What we'll do, as we always do, we'll have a look at the main map. And as you can see, if I zoom out on what the map size often is, it's tiny. You can see the Meuse River running right the way through the middle there. We start off right up the top right-hand corner at a small little farm. Now, as I always say when I do these map tours, this is not going to be for everyone. Bottom line of it is, it's a small map, small fields. It's going to be for small to medium-sized machinery. You're not going to get away with big stuff on here, so it's not going to be for everyone. I totally understand that, you know. But like I've said before on map tours, you can still appreciate what's gone into it, what's on here, the quality of it, I suppose if you want to say that. There are a few cons. There are a few things I found, little odds and ends here and there, but with that happens on maps. Like I said before, the conversion over from PC to console, a PC modder can't check their mod on console until release. They hope everything is working and should work, and according to the files it should work, but sometimes it just doesn't. So I'm on New Farmer. And what do we start with? Well, we start with the farm and all the stuff up here. We start with the there's another little town over this side with the spinnery and stuff, and these little stretches around. What you do start with on New Farmer is the biogas plant. You do start with it. Now, if you start on New Farmer, we've used 380 out of 1299 slots, which is pretty good. If you start on Farm Manager, you've only used 280 out of 1299 slots. I'll explain why. It will become obvious. Now, if you do start on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you don't own this bit around here, but it's zero. It doesn't cost anything. So if you do want to buy this, if you do want to use the biogas plant, it doesn't cost you anything to buy it. You can just buy that or pick up that bit. But you do start with this area here as well, which is Field 1 and your farm area. Contracts are available just here. They don't pay out massive money because the fields aren't that big. This is not going to be a making huge amounts of money type map. We are facing north at the moment, and we're going to move into our little farm area. We do have a little pickup truck. We'll have a look at the vehicles we've got when we start off. There are some custom mods on this map as well, which are specific to this map that you can sell or place again if you want to somewhere else, which gives us the farmhouse here. But this is actually the placeable, the mod that comes with the map, for the little bench seat here. So this is where you can sleep through the night should you wish to do so. As we move through the yard, we've got a few more bits of equipment, and we've got some barn and shelter space just here. Now this building here, if you start on Farm Manager or start from scratch, this building stays. This building stays. You don't have any of this. Actually, you do have this. You do have the buildings, but not the machinery, which is kind of understandable. And that's the same on Farm Manager and start from scratch. But you can sell all the buildings off if you want to. I came on to start from scratch just to check it. It was on 280 slots. I sold off all the buildings, and that brought the slots down to 264. So if you want to start on either of those, you can do that. Absolutely you can. So it's a very tight yard. You can tell already we've got a small vehicle workshop just to the sides here. We have got our silo, which is also a custom one for the map, just here. It takes the main fruit types. It's not a multi-storage, multi-fruit one. Bit of barn space just over to the side there. We've got a double bunker just here. And we've got a custom cow shed, which is just here. Milk is collected from this point here. We open this up. Feed trough is through there. Our slurry point is just here. Buying and selling of the animals is done from here, or loading or unloading. Our manure bunker is just around here. As far as straw goes, I think it's in this bit here. Unless it's done, sometimes they're done, both are done from the main trough point. I haven't tested that yet, but generally speaking it's not too difficult to find where the hay is dropped off. Some maps it's a little bit harder than others, and you've got yourself a little pasture just out here, which is all very nice. You've got the road that runs up just the side here. Like I say, it's not going to take long to get around this. There's not a huge amount. It's a very picturesque map. I like, you know, what they do. There are some, I say, issues. They've got this thing, I think it was kind of Auction David, and my mind's gone blank. Or Bullet Bill, but the group anyway. That did those maps, that did this kind of extension out, so you didn't get like a flat edge with like a picture around the side. That said, there's not a lot of detail to it the further out. I mean, it's obviously it's not going to have a lot of detail the further out. But yeah, I suppose there could potentially be more detail. It's, you know, it's a minor thing. It's just something worth pointing out. And then back here, so the cow shed's there. We've got our sheep pen just here with our water trough, feed trough in the middle. Buying and selling, loading or unloading is done from there, and our wool pallets spawn in there. Nice little touch with the sheep shears on the side there. That in essence, that's the main farmyard. There's not much more to it than that. I do like the fact you've got a little boat there taking out onto the Meuse if you want to. So machinery, what do we start with? Actually, wrong one. That's the one we want. We start with the Favourite 511C, two K7210s, a Bison, a pickup, Fort Strip trailer, Bison header. We've got a Rao Polymag cultivator, we've got an Amazon seeder, a couple of weights, and then like I say, then we've got the custom bits and bobs. So we've got a sheep pasture, large cow pasture, double bunker silo, large grain silo, and easy shed, and then the sleep through the night mod. If we go across to here, they are all available in here. The vehicle workshop is there, only costs 1,000, which is pretty good. Under animal pens, we've got, actually there's no horses actually on this one. There's not a custom one either. But you've got the large cow pasture and then a cow pasture. That'll make sense in a minute. You'll understand why. That's nice, and I think this is a nod towards seasons and helping you with the seasons mod. Large pig enclosure and sheep pasture. So those are available, which is great. Oh, hang on. Sorry. We've got the silo in here, large grain silo, which takes 200,000 litres for 80 grand. It's not too bad at all, but I say it's only the main crop types. Sheds, we've got that easy shed you just saw around the back, and then under farmhouses we've got our sleep through the night, which is only 100 for that bench, and you can place it anywhere you want. Yeah, it doesn't have to be at the main farmhouse. That is entirely up to you. So we're going to jump in the pickup. We're going to whiz around the map. So we're going to do I think probably a clockwise rotation round. Like I said, the detail is great considering. I mean, it's a very small map, so that helps keep the slot count down, which is great. But like I say, it's not huge, so you know you're not going to get. Like I say, you're not going to get massive machinery, but the detail around the buildings and the little villages, and you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do like an undulation. I do like a map with sweeps and, you know, hillsides and valleys, and you know, it just, there's nothing wrong with a flat map. I just do like it. So come around the outside now. Come around to the first of our sell points. This is the L'Art du Pain, which is like an artisan baker's, I guess, the art of bread, and this will take your cereal crops, it will take eggs, and it will take milk. We go across to the sell points. You'll see we've got the biogas plant is already on there because on New Farmer we'll start with it. Commerce to Bestio, then we've got Cooperative Agricole, we've got L'Art du Pain, Sawmill and Spinnery. And like I say, the L'Art du Pain takes your cereal crops there, he says, wheat, barley and your oats, and then if we scroll across it will take eggs and milk as well. There's a bit of forestry about. There's lots of little dotted around forests across the map. Fairly densely packed, so there's plenty to do. Like I say, field sizes aren't massive, and again, as we kind of get used to, like I say, that style of map, a lot of the grass fields that Blacksheep Modding do are normally surrounded by fences. They do have collisions on, and as far as I know, there's no way to remove them. So if you're thinking of buying up loads of fields and ploughing them together, that could prove difficult. One thing I have noticed, and I'll see if this works this time actually, as I just went around the map a couple of minutes ago just to get a bit of a feel for it. This is the bottom of the map. We're down at the bottom, and we're at the pig farm just here. I need to open that back up again actually down the bottom. So we're down the bottom of the map. This is your pig pen. Now what I did find, open this up, is that I couldn't get the trigger to work for buying, selling or unloading, but what we've also got here is a couple of little glitchy bits. We've got a lot of the hazard marked trigger points are floating. If you look at the wall there, they are floating off the ground. So like I say, it's not perfect. It may well need an update. You can see as you go across here, all of those trigger points, the hazard markings are all floating at the moment. The reason why it won't let you buy, sell or unload is because you don't own it. You need to own it first. I mean, that's kind of I say it's kind of a given. We look at the price of it. It's 101,000, which I don't have. But once you buy it, you'll be able to. Now, if you look across the map here, we've also got a cow pasture there on a grass field and a cow pasture there on a grass field. We'll have a look at those later on, and that is to do with, I think personally, to do with seasons. Because with the seasons mod on now, if you don't put any feed into the troughs, especially for cows, but I think sheep as well, they will use the grass in the pasture. So what you can do if you place multiple ones, and that's why there's a modded one in here of just a pasture, what you can do is when the animals have used all the grass in that pasture, you can take your cows to another pasture. They can start eating the grass out of that one, which gives the previous pasture a chance to regrow, the grass to regrow. Obviously in winter on seasons the grass doesn't grow at all, so you're going to have some stock for them. But it's a clever way of doing that. You can move them around. This is my only bugbear. I say only bugbear on this map. This bridge here, the traffic comes the other way, and it does say we have priority. However, you can only get one vehicle across, and if there's traffic coming the other way, it is a bit of a problem, because it won't stop. Even if it does say you have priority, it doesn't stop. So the Meuse River just down to the side there. Nice valley down to the side. Some of it is quite steep. It's, you know, like I said, I couldn't find Chambly-sur-Meuse. I found a place called Chambly or Chambly, and it was a big sort of almost city really. There you go. See what I mean about traffic coming the other way, and it doesn't stop. Yeah, that's the only thing with that route, unfortunately. But it's, yeah, I mean, it has a nice feel to the map, a nice kind of, not, I say realistic. I haven't seen a train come past here. Those lights are flashing. I haven't seen the barriers go down. That's not to say, I think I've learnt from other map tours, that's not to say there isn't a train on here. There may well be that one goes past. I haven't experienced one yet, but potentially. We're going to come through the second town, so we are now across the other side of the map now. It doesn't take long to get across. It's, like I say, it's not a big map. We've got a few little buildings and things. We've got a little church and graveyard just to the left there. We're going to come round to a few of the sell points, and we're going to come round to the main store, which is over at this town. So if we swing up here without crashing into that, that would have been a lot better. Like I say, it is fairly tight. I'm very conscious, having played on Geiselsberg, not to knock over road signs, so I'm trying to avoid that. The spinnery is just to the side here. Again, very small, not a lot of room to get in and out of here. If you're using bale trailers that have got a swivel front axle to them, a wagon type one, getting in and out of there is going to prove a bit of a challenge, and it's going to require a lot of skill to do that. If we swing around to the bottom in this little village, town, village probably, it's not big enough to be a town, is it? We have got just, haven't missed it, have I? Nope. We've got a livestock market tucked in here. think the trigger for this one's quite tight. If you go further over, yeah, the trigger wouldn't work the further over I went, so you have to be kind of more over this side. Again, we've got floating, well, it looks like, oh no, maybe they're not floating here. Oh yeah, they are. Look, if you look in comparison to the post there, they are floating. So it's like I say, it's a minor thing, but they are floating. Actually, have we got a barn sell point? I don't think we have we on here? Let's have a look and see where we sell bales. Commerce to Bestio, biogas plant potentially. Yeah, okay. Well, commerce to Bestio. Ah, okay, so we've got the livestock market on commerce to Bestio is right here, so that's obviously what the bales are for. So it doesn't say barn or bale sell point, but I'm assuming then, although the animal trigger still seems to be here, but I'm assuming that's what that is. That's supposed to be livestock trigger, that one, but obviously the trigger's big enough it does both. Whether that's going to cause problems for selling bales in the future, I don't know. Potentially it could. So heading north now, up the western side of the map, we come to our main dealer, which is just here. Our repair point, buy point, or sorry, repair, sell and customise point is just here with the workshop. And what I'm going to do is just check something out. Let's whiz across over to our farm. Let's pick a piece of machinery and let's reset it. It resets back here at the store, not at the main farm. So if you have a problem, you have to reset a piece of machinery. This is where it resets to. Fuel point round the back here. And we will continue on. Like I say, it does definitely have a real feel of the Old Stream Farm about it. But I think also the Valley of the Old Farm as well. Which is to be expected, I guess, isn't it? You know, it's nice. It has, you know, it's a different map. It's a small map. You know, like I've said before, all these different maps come with their challenges. Larger maps require a lot more work with bigger machinery. Smaller maps are tighter, harder to move around. You can't use bigger machinery. They all have their challenges. We have a line buy point and we have our sell point here. This is the cooperative agricole, and we've got a line point just there. So you actually have two kind of points you can drive in for selling if you want to here. And then we head out towards our sawmill. Now the railway track that we went over a minute ago, we go under at this point. Sawmill is just off to the left, just there, with our wood chip sell point and our lumber sell point. If I turn right here, it's going to take us to one of these cow pastures. And this is what I was talking about. There's nothing else here really. You've got the cow pasture, you've got a water trough, you've got a feed trough in the middle, and you've got the grass field. And that's the point. The season's on. The animals will gradually work their way through the grass on that field. If they run out, then you can obviously give them more, or feed, or whatever you want it to be that they have. Here as well, if you click on this, it won't allow you to buy anything unless you own it. So if I go into the map now, the pasture I'm at here, if I click on it, I think this one's only 84,000. If we buy that, and now I click my L3, there we go. It will now allow me to buy, sell, load or unload. So you have to own it before you can do anything with it. So that's one of the separate cow pastures. And there are two cow pastures and the main cow barn on this map. I like it. I mean, I don't do large maps very often. I do like it when I do because it gives you the opportunity to use big machinery and, you know, really bring out some of the big guns. But I suppose living in the UK, I'm used to small country roads and tight lanes and that kind of thing. Depends whereabouts in the country you live, and the same with any country. Whereabouts you live in a particular country will kind of lead you towards a feeling of the type of maps you like or you're used to, and you know. So I do like a smaller map. I do like, you know, not tiny machinery, but I don't know, something about it. Right, biogas plant. We are here. Digestate storage. When you want to collect your digestate, your byproduct, you do it from there, which is nicely marked. Your anaerobic digester is just here. France Biogas. Biogas Français. Française? Was it Française? Français? Anyway, regardless, my French is not much better than my German, to be honest with you. And then we come to a little roundabout here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that is all of the sell points. Yeah, that's all of them. We've been around. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head along this road here. You can take the main road that runs right the way through, and that will take you back to the main, or the second little town. We're going to follow this one down, and we're going to head back over to where our main farm is. Field prices themselves actually aren't that bad. 73 grand. We've got some real tiny ones, field 2 up here for 31 grand. You can gradually build your way up. There are quite a few grass pastures, so I think if you do buy that grass pasture mod, you can place them around those grass fields. It seems to be letting you. And like I say, the forestry bits, you've got some fields with a bit of forest next to it. The forest there is 347. It's a bit more expensive, but there's a lot of logging to do. You can make pretty good money doing logging if you choose to do that. So yeah, you've got a bit of a mixture of everything. Field 41 is one of the larger ones, 204 grand. That is a grass field. You might need to plough it out if you want a big field on there. Field 24, 162. So yeah, not too bad at all, really. Not too bad at all. I hope you kind of got a feel for the map. Like I say, it's not huge. Nice, picturesque, nice details, textures. I mean, it's the kind of the sort of thing we expect from Blacksheep Modding. There are a few little issues with the floating hazard marked areas, and you know, the map edge potentially, I suppose. You know, to be honest with you, you spend so much time working on the field. I don't spend a lot of time going out to the map edge, you know, especially with a map like this. When you're working on a field, you can't actually see the edge of the map. It's probably far worse on maps that are very flat. There's a map that's very flat. If you're working on fields, you can actually see the map edge much easier, and that can be, you know, a bit of a kind of, it can annoy you more, I guess. It's probably the best way of putting it. And we find ourselves back at the main farm. Yeah, not bad at all. Like it. It's not going to be for everyone. I totally understand that. Not going to be for everyone. But there you go. That's the campaign of France by Blacksheep Modding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.